Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, a free way to support the channel is by leaving a thumbs up, by leaving a comment, by leaving 2 comments or as many comments as you so please, or by subscribing if you have not already done so. It does indeed help with the algorithm. As always, watch out for the people in the comment section who are pretending to be me as well. Back in full force yesterday, I see. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. The cryptocurrency market's a mess. All over the place. Up and down, back and forth, side to side. A lot of the movements that we've been seeing the last even 18 hours have been kind of spectacularly weird. Bitcoin, when we were talking yesterday, I believe was at 58,200, somewhere within that range. By the end of the day, Bitcoin had fallen to around $52,000. I looked around, couldn't find anything. No one had any answer, and we usually have answers. There's always like, hey, well, Bitcoin did this because Bitcoin was having to do that. There was nothing. No one can really explain as to why it fell down. I'm still speculating that it maybe fell down because a lot of rich people have figured out exactly how to move the market to best suit their needs. Just being completely honest, it happens with stocks, it happens with gold, it happens with real estate. So why not with the cryptocurrency market as well? And basically all I can assume is that they are making sure that prices lower in some sort of other way on some sort of other platform, so that they can buy up on some other platform. That's it. That's as far as I've got, because everything else doesn't really make a lot of sense logically as far as where prices are and where they've been and all the accumulation that we've been seeing. At the same time, it says many Bitcoin analysts call for a rally beyond $70,000. There's a lot actually happening behind the scenes, even more so the stuff that we've been talking about. The logical explanation as to why Bitcoin should be going higher or should we already be above $100,000. I don't have, an hour to explain the last 19 weeks of videos that we've been going over, but every single day has been extremely bullish. The network's still running full force. More people on it all the time. Hundreds of millions of people around the world are into Bitcoin, buying Bitcoin, fractions of Bitcoin. We're finding out that all these companies are into Bitcoin. They're also buying, You get it. It's the same every single day. But it's nice to see that during all that positivity and price negativity, if you will, now we're still getting tons of people who are talking about that Bitcoin's price is looking to bounce back. This says calm after the storm. Bitcoin reclaims $57,000 and Ethereum is back above 2K. Wonderful, because they should not have ever really fallen in the first place. So whenever, we've had these about 5 times so far within the last, I want to say 2 or 3 months, where price is, looking like it's going to pass by 60,000, and then we have a day where it like straight down. And we're all kind of sitting there scratching our heads. I've been receiving a lot of messages from friends and people who don't even normally talk to me, but they're trying to figure out exactly what's happening with the cryptocurrency market, as I assume you have as well. There doesn't seem to be an actual answer. There are tons of little things floating around that people assume that it might be, but nothing is exactly concrete. So anyway, there was no real altcoin news today. It was basically following the idea that Bitcoin had completely collapsed in value. A lot of the altcoins didn't fall as much as Bitcoin, which was very nice to see, because the whole magnet narrative is wonderful. It's great, but it's also about 7 years old at this point. It can kind of, go into the corner because, whatever. So I think XRP went to like 90 cents and is back in 97 or 98 cents. A lot of the other coins bounced back while Bitcoin like semi bounced back from where it was before. One of the potential reasons, and I don't explicitly believe that this is it. There's a lot of different things floating around. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says, why did South Korea just say no to a Bitcoin ETF listing on its stock exchange? It's because many countries, I try my hardest and I try my best to be as frank with all of you as possible. I'm not going to sit here and go, well, maybe they were thinking about regulations. No, it has to do with a lot of countries around the world have been trying to unsuccessfully mimic the United States for a very long time. We started getting this news at the end of 2017 when we heard that many or nearly all of the countries out there were trying to either ban or regulate cryptocurrencies in some sort of way. It's the news that we kept on getting over and over and over. Type in crypto ban 2017, crypto ban 2018. You see a list of thousands of articles talking about it. You can go look at it for yourself. The entire idea was that the U.S. kind of stepped up first and said, hey, we're not happy with what's happening in the market, and everyone else simply followed suit. And one of the other things that kind of happened as well was that any idea of any type of a bond, a something, a mutual fund, an ETF that is tied directly to Bitcoin or even close to Bitcoin, except for the idea of a Bitcoin futures because it allowed people to bet against Bitcoin, which we also heard about last year as well, which also did take place. It wasn't a tinfoil hat moment. So I'm just going to assumption that a lot of them, first of all, they're not really comfortable with the idea of Bitcoin in the first place. They don't control Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not them. They are not Bitcoin. They do not control exactly how much Bitcoin gets put into the market. So at the same exact time, when you see the Euro system is crumbling, as much as you would like to believe that these people are kind of on the ball or on it, and they simply go, I understand what Bitcoin is. Let's all integrate it together. No, I'm pretty sure they still don't want it anywhere. Not within their systems, not within their companies, not within their anywhere, because it's not the money that they print, and therefore they don't have control over it. So I assume that any other country who has simply said no to the way of ETFs is basically following the United States. There's no real reason to say no to an ETF at this point, especially if it is going to be completely controlled by your SEC, by your Securities and Exchange Commission, and you have all the paperwork in order. What's the reason for saying no? We have ETFs for other things that people don't even really care about. So one of the reasons could be is that South Korea said no to a Bitcoin ETF listing. Why is this significant? Because South Korea has had something called a kimchi premium within their borders for the last couple of years, and that apparently, allegedly, has ended. The kimchi premium, not sure why it has that name, comes from the idea that if everywhere else around the world Bitcoin was $10,000, in South Korea, their Bitcoin was $12,000. Why that was happening, it mainly has to do with the fact that the only Bitcoin that you could deal with within South Korea had to do with in a cryptocurrency exchange that was within South Korea. The demand is a lot higher than the supply, and therefore they have a higher price in their borders compared to everywhere else. It's the same exact way we were talking about a couple of weeks ago. I'm talking very fast. A couple of weeks ago, I believe it was Nigeria, not exactly sure anymore, where Bitcoin was it 50,000 here, and over there I think it was 98,000. It's the premium. The premiums happen all the time, and I think their premium ended yesterday or a day or two ago, and maybe people saw this as bearish, that they had the exact same Bitcoin price as we did. The market doesn't make any sense. I don't think it's going to be making any sense anytime soon. A lot of these metrics don't really compute with me, as it were, because, you know, it's cool that they had a premium and maybe they were buying a lot more Bitcoin than other people. But the fact of the matter is they're not the only country on the planet. South Korea is not the only market maker in this space. So we can logically assume that if they're buying on par where we are, you have other places in the world who are also still buying. The other news as well, just so we can get past this entire price movement discussion, was that Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust premium, I think, had also taken a dip and has been below the premium level or where it was before for, I think, over a month. And I was reading a couple of articles and they were saying this is negative because Grayscale has kind of taken the forefront for cryptocurrency adoption for institutions, and therefore if institutions aren't paying a premium, then Bitcoin's price will drop because of... If you can't see me because you're driving or doing something else or holding your child, I'm shrugging. I'm illicitly shrugging because who cares? It's the same exact thing that we heard years ago. For those of you who were not here, we heard when Bitcoin was around $7,000 that the only way to get Bitcoin back above 20,000 was to have an ETF. Surprise, we still don't got one. And Bitcoin passed by $60,000. So the news is South Korea said no to a Bitcoin ETF. Who cares? Their kimchi premium has dropped. Also, who cares? Because we still have other people and other companies just within the United States who are still buying up all the Bitcoin that's mined per day. You and your friends are also still buying up fragments of all the Bitcoin that's also mined per day on cryptocurrency exchanges. And Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust premium has fallen. Well, that's fantastic because there's still about 5 other companies that we know of who are doing the exact same thing, Grayscale-esque, and they're still being used, as is Grayscale. Like, Grayscale hasn't completely collapsed and they're like, oh, no more Bitcoin for us. No, they're still doing the exact same operation they were doing before. So if we can get past all the stupidity, I'd be elated at this point. Anyway, that's the price news stuffs. And let's move on. Next up, for some reason, this is super popular in the news today. Changpeng Zhao, the CEO of Binance, is one of the world's top crypto billionaires. I assume so. He revealed that he does not own much except for crypto. Binance CEO said in an interview with Bloomberg, "I'm one of those guys who value liquidity much more than owning something. I actually prefer not to own anything." Fantastic. Bitcoin has witnessed a massive winning rally this year, yada, yada, yada. He said, "I would say probably close to 100%. I don't own any fiat. The physical stuff that I own is probably negligible in terms of my net worth. So that is a complete shift. I'm not using crypto to buy fiat. I'm not using crypto to buy houses. I just want to keep crypto. And I don't plan to convert my crypto into cash in the future." Zhao said that it took him a while to ramp up his crypto portfolio. For those of you who may not understand that, the entire idea is that already in the now, you can already buy everything with crypto. And even more so if you want to slim it out with Bitcoin. You may have to use particular websites. You may have to do particular things. I made this video last year. You can buy everything with Bitcoin. The idea is in the future that everyone's going to be accepting Bitcoin. We see it happening more and more every single day. And therefore, there's no reason to cash out. He is also one of the people who explicitly believes that Bitcoin at some point is going to hit 100K, 500K, a million plus. So it does logically make sense for him to never really cash out in the market. If you're holding something that's 60,000, imagine you have a house that's 60,000. Would you sell it at 75,000 if you had an indication that it could be going to $1 million or $5 million? Probably not. Anyway, so yeah, that's the news. That Changpeng Zhao does not own any real estate. I think, first of all, I think he travels every single day. I think he's the most well-traveled crypto person, if you will. I think he's known as like just constantly moving from country to country to do whatever Binance people have to do. The news being he doesn't own any fiat, and that is just all crypto. Why people would be surprised at this? I'm not really sure, but alas, here we are. Yeah, see, weird, right? Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao holds close to 100% of his funds in crypto. I'm pretty sure he got into it and was like, wait, Bitcoin was $5 when I got it. 22,000? I'm not going to sell anything. Anyway, that's the Binance CEO news. I wish I had more tabs open because I could have put about 28 tabs up there just to show you exactly how popular this news was. Anyway, that's the obvious news. And let's move on. Now listen. This is the news of the day that I think should have actually turned on a light bulb in many people's heads, because I think maybe the light source is out. Maybe the wires just aren't connected. I'm not being mean. I'm not trying to even be funny. I'm not even joking. Here we go. Especially for those of you not looking at the screen. According to Ukrainian government data transparency provider OpenDataBot, civil servants, government workers in the country have declared that they own 46,351 Bitcoin, worth around $2.6 billion at the time of writing. Gonna bring it on back. Just the civil servants, the government workers within one country, within Ukraine, are holding $2.6 billion worth of what? What is it? Worth of Bitcoin. Now, once again, bringing it back. This isn't to be mean. This isn't to be funny. This isn't to be, I don't care what people are thinking in their minds. Normally, when we get financial news, it is normally not usually focused around Ukraine. That's just the fact of the matter within the cryptocurrency space. Now, I dare you to think this. If civil servants, and I'm going to read you the exact numbers as well, just so you really get it. If civil servants just within Ukraine, just within one country, are holding $2.6 billion worth of Bitcoin, how much do you think other countries are holding? Ah, see, right? Yeah, the light bulb begins to flicker. How much do civil servants in Russia hold? In Italy? In Greece? In China? In Japan? South Korea? Maybe even South Africa? Getting warmer? The UK? Canada, which now has 3 Bitcoin ETFs. I would say it is safe to assume that there's at least 15 to 25 people, civil servants within Parliament in Canada, who probably have some great knowledge of finance and probably own a large amount of Bitcoin themselves. The United States. Mexico. Remember we heard 3 weeks ago, one of these CEOs said, yeah, there are dozens of Mexican companies who are looking to put Bitcoin in their balance sheets. Those are the companies. Imagine the actual government workers. Now, once again, bringing it back. These are just government workers who at some point years ago realized what Bitcoin was. I'm going to safely assume that they did not purchase this Bitcoin at $60,000. I'd even say it's safe to assumption, that they probably purchased sub $10,000 or floating within the $10,000 range. To accumulate 46,000 Bitcoin is not an easy feat, even if Bitcoin was $1,000, even if Bitcoin was at $10,000. The declarations came as property disclosure requirements imposed on public officials in Ukraine came into effect. More than 700,000 officials made property declarations on the 31st of March. Out of those 700,000 workers, 652 declared that they owned Bitcoin. This would average around to 71 Bitcoin per person, or around 3.9 million per public official that declared it. Here's a chart also right here. Here's the actual chart from the other, what was it called? Openbot? Open Data Bot. Right here. Here's the actual chart. They own Bitcoin. They own Ether. They own Litecoin, ADA, Stellar, Monero, IOTA, and Bcash. You can see the numbers dwindling as it goes down, with Bitcoin and Ethereum being the largest holdings. I had a discussion with my friend about this, and his first thing he said in the text when I sent him the article was just holy fluffing spit. Because what else can you say? I don't know if I consider him to be like a very intelligent person, because he gets it immediately. Like, there's no actual delay when you send him something. It's kind of like, oh, snaps. Like, I really understand exactly what this means. But this news did nothing to the price. It's not that I explicitly believed that it would. It's more of a puzzle piece. Imagine the globe as a puzzle piece. And you have one puzzle piece, and it's just Ukraine. And that puzzle piece written on it says $2.6 billion worth of Bitcoin. Now imagine you start putting the other puzzle pieces together. That then probably becomes $250 billion worth of Bitcoin. $600 billion worth of Bitcoin. And these are just civil servants. And even more so, out of 700,000, 652, not even 1,000 of them. Anyway, so I thought that news was incredible. I assume no one else has been talking about it, because it's not very, almost said gotcha. It's not very like draw you in clickbaity news kind of thing, but these are the things to pay attention to. Pay attention to when government leaders scream at the top of their lungs. I don't know if this has happened in Ukraine, but pay attention to when they scream, ban. We hate it. It's terrible. I can't believe that this is a thing. We need to get rid of it. And still they own billions of dollars worth of it. What has happened every single time from every single billionaire and millionaire who has spoken negatively about Bitcoin? What did they do? That's right. They all own Bitcoin. And even more so, I'm not sure if it's not a Freudian slip, but it's They've mentioned this year and the end of last year, yeah, I have Bitcoin. Bitcoin's absolutely amazing. And then when you look through the internet and you find articles from 2014, 15, 16, and 17 about them, what are they doing? Talking negatively about Bitcoin. What did they mention this year that they were doing in 2014 while they were talking negatively about Bitcoin? They were buying it. So we are, me and you are going to get to a point where there's no Bitcoin left because all the Bitcoin is held by the richest people on the planet. But alas, at least we knew beforehand that it was going to happen. Anyway, that's all the Ukraine news. Isn't that incredible? Billions of dollars, couple hundred people, just government workers. Now imagine the other people working there. Imagine the normal people. Imagine the other millionaires and billionaires. Anyway, that's all the Ukraine news. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, also in popular news, Grayscale, the world's largest crypto asset manager, announced that the company has nearly $6.7 billion worth of Ether under management. The US-based crypto service provider has a total of 3.1 million Ether, according to an official post by Grayscale. The total value of the company's crypto assets under management has reached $46.4 billion. Incredible. However, Bitcoin remained the largest holding of Grayscale, as the asset manager currently has more than 650,000 Bitcoin, with a value of approximately $38.2 billion. Here's the actual tweet for it right here. I think the news that we keep getting, or the that we keep getting, is that Grayscale keeps buying more and more Ether. Is anyone surprised? No, you shouldn't be. We've gone over it before. Ethereum has a lot of backing behind it. If you do not know what I'm talking about, Google the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. You'll be able to find it quite quickly. They have hundreds of companies who are backing them, who said that they're going to be using them, integrating them, blah, 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 blah. Ethereum. And also just the prospect of the biggest, one of the biggest, second biggest blockchain in the future, in the coming months, having tens of thousands of transactions. And also, what was the other thing? ETFs and yada yada and DeFi and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, that's all the Grayscale news. Fantastic. I assume that number is going to continue to balloon as time goes on. I assume the same exact thing for Bitcoin. I'm actually quite shocked that Grayscale doesn't already have a million Bitcoin. I just expecting this many moons ago. But, we have a couple more months left in the year, so I assume they'll have done it by then. Anyway, that's the Grayscale buying Ethereum, Bitcoin, coins news. And let's move on. News. The rapidly expanding NFT craze has caught the attention of Tom Brady. What? Who plans to launch an NFT platform this spring. Fantastic. One of the most successful sports persons, is that a word? Tom Brady, is looking to take advantage of the growing mania of non-fungible tokens. The legendary quarterback has announced intentions to release his own NFT platform called Autograph. He's 43, he's successful, money. According to CNN coverage, the quarterback has set his sights on perhaps the most quickly growing... What? The most quickly growing in popularity, that doesn't make any sense, in use cases cryptocurrency field in the past few months, non-fungible tokens. Apparently, he's going to be trying to get sports stars, fashion stars, pop culture stars, and entertainment stars, and they will all be able to develop their own unique digital artworks. One of two things. This is either going to be massively successful or no one's going to care about it. I don't think there's an actual in-between. If they make it so that you have another way to interact with stars, pop stars, entertainment stars, sports stars that you know and love at a reasonable amount, I think it will do extremely well. Not even joking. Now listen, why not? We're all here. What else are we doing? We can't go outside. The vast amount of NFTs that I've been seeing have additions of either one, or 50 or 100, and these things are like $800, and I'm like, no normal person is going to be able to do that. I think the people who got it the closest were the NBA hotshot people, because I think you could buy a digital pack of cards. I think it was like $1 or something like that. Like one was like $5, and I think the other like premium one was 50, but I think that was like a time limited. Doesn't really matter. That's relatively affordable for the average person who's like, hey, I want to spend $5 this week to be able to buy 25 digital cards to be able to see if I get a digital image of one of my favorite sports stars. Amazing. If they do the exact same thing for that, this is going to take off without a doubt. I don't have many tabs for this open. I'm pretty sure if you are really into Tom Brady and need to know exactly when Autograph is going to be launching, I think this could do extremely well. And I assume they'll go beyond just fashion, pop culture, and icons and entertainment people. Anyway, because sports cards and stuff like that are a very big market. If you have no idea how big sports cards are, they weren't that big. I think in the 90s and early 2000s, they've back all over again. Mainly because the cards that were coming out in the 90s and early 2000s, nobody was buying. So now they're extremely rare, and now the market's kind of back up. Anyway, so let's see. I mentioned before, I would not mind putting like 100 into, this market every single week. Not just this one, but, in general, just to see what I kind of get. Anyway, that's the Tom Brady NFT news. And let's move on. Now, here's a weird one, and it's definitely coming to a brain near you. It says, so you want to start mining but don't have the money to buy an ASIC or a GPU. Don't worry. Soon, you'll be able to mine cryptocurrencies with the power of your mind, thanks to Microsoft. And no, it's not an April Fool's joke, because that was like 45 days ago. According to documents from the World Intellectual Property Organization, Microsoft has been working for at least 1 year on developing a system that harnesses the energy of the human body and uses it to mine cryptocurrencies. The patent, called Cryptocurrency System Using... Oh, what a stupid name. It's called Cryptocurrency System Using Body Activity Data, explains that the human body generates energy that is lost with each natural physical body function. Okay. Microsoft's idea is to use precisely that energy and put it to productive use, Matrix style. They said instead of massive computation work required by some conventional cryptocurrency systems, data generated based on the body activity of the user can be proof of work, and therefore a user can solve the computationally difficult problem unconsciously. Okay, this sounds ridiculous. So here's the actual patent for it right here. I guess the idea would be you're wearing something on your brain, or you're wearing a suit. I don't see this taking off anytime soon. Mainly because I feel like you would have to wear something that looks wacky or kind of weird. The report says that body fluid flow and organ activity and movement could be some of the examples of no, and this not no. It has to be like a wrist watch size kind of thing, or no one's gonna listen. I have a strange feeling if people could mine around $200 worth of a crypto per day, they would wear some really weird suit. Oh yeah, easily. People, yeah. 210, yeah, that's $6,000 per month for wearing a suit. Never mind. People would definitely do this. Anyway, that's the Microsoft news. Here's the patent for it right here. It's like 9,000 pages, but I'll show you some of them because I know people like seeing these things. It says cryptocurrency system using body activity data. Here's the rest of it. The birds and yeah, see, it's a real thing. Coming to a Microsoft store near you. I don't know. Please don't have any. I think the last thing I want to see after this year is going into a store and they have like a cryptocurrency section where it's like, you want to wear this? You have shoes that you put on and you just made a Satoshi. That would be a little bit too weird for me. Anyway, that's the Microsoft human body Matrix news. Let's move on. Next up, Jesse Powell, the CEO of Kraken, said that crypto companies pose a real threat to traditional finance. While some legacy businesses are making moves into the crypto space, Powell said that those who stay sidelines would be replaced. Oh, snaps. He said, "We've seen tremendous traction that Cash App has had. PayPal, fortunately for them, okay, they've been on the ball. I think you're going to see more of that, and people who aren't keeping up with that, I think their days are numbered." That sounds like a threat. Following a delayed NASDAQ listing, which was initially scheduled for March, it looks like Coinbase's IPO will now take place on the 14th of April. This, my friends, is the other thing that people were talking about as far as Bitcoin's price moving lower. I know it seems a bit crazy. The idea was that there are things happening. First of all, Jesse Powell thinks that crypto is going to take over everything. Surprise? No, he's the Kraken of CEO. He's the CEO of Kraken, and he probably has more inside knowledge than the rest of us. We get, once again, we get the trickles down from heaven as to exactly what's happening. But I assume that this man knows explicitly who's buying, what's buying, and all that other stuff. Got it. The second part is that Coinbase is about 6 days from going public. I believe it's going to be on Monday. Look, Monday. Who cares? It's soon. It's on the 14th. The idea is that no one knows for certain. People think that them being listed and going public on the NASDAQ is going to not only cause their stock to rise, no one knows for certain, and that it'll also cause Bitcoin's price to rise as well, as one of the, if not the largest crypto companies on the planet, going public. Bitcoin, dollar bills, y'all. The entire thing is that the idea is that right now, people are making sure that the price remains low so that they can continue to buy in anticipation of a price move up. Once again, no one knows if this is going to happen, but I think I've seen too many articles talking about it. There's a lot going on with Coinbase and their listing, talking about how much money they made. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says Coinbase's first quarter revenue hit $1.8 billion ahead of its NASDAQ listing. A lot of people are getting into crypto. They're buying crypto. They're using Coinbase to be able to do so. These are very good numbers. I saw something on CNBC, ABC 123 a couple of days ago. You always have that one person who's like, we're not brothers. There's always the one negative Nancy in the room. And they basically were saying that Coinbase was overvalued. How dare they have that valuation? They're just dealing with Bitcoin, and Bitcoin isn't anything, and I don't understand Bitcoin, and therefore I'm old and angry and blah, 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 blah. So we'll see what happens. We are a couple days away. I think this was pushed back. Was it 2 weeks? Because of the, CFTC or SEC drama with them? I'm not really sure. Regulators are intense. Anyway, so that's the other part of it as to why Bitcoin fell in price. It could be people trying to push the price down in anticipation of a higher move higher because of Coinbase going public. I'm excited for it. Just let it happen. I waiting is always the hardest part for me. I just want things. I guess we're all the same in that aspect. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only person on the planet who's like, I want it now, but it's just kind of just do it. Anyway, well, this time next week, we'll know what has happened, what has taken place with Coinbase, and I guess more so Bitcoin's price. That's a tractor picking up a field of money. And without further ado, let's move on. And I believe to finish things off, I think this is the last one. CoinShares has continued with its product expansion by releasing a physically backed Litecoin exchange-traded product on Switzerland's SIX exchange. After releasing physically backed crypto exchange-traded products tracking the performance of Bitcoin and Ethereum earlier this year, CoinShares has expanded its portfolio with the addition of a Litecoin ETP. In the announcement from the 6th of April, CoinShares has released another, I just said that, I guess the most important part is that it is physical Litecoin, that the fund will be holding physical Litecoin. The company revealed the base fee of the product will be 1.5%. It will be listed on Switzerland's regulated stock exchange known as SIX under the ticker LITE. Fancy. Interestingly, the base currency will be the US dollar despite being released in Europe. Yay! So another country now has an ETF-esque product where they're going to be holding the crypto. I can only imagine. This is an imagination. Woo, imagination time. What's happening within the United States? It has to be driving funds, money managers, absolutely insane. Listen, these coins are finite. Litecoin is also finite. The idea that someone across the pond, across the water, across the street has access to something and I don't has to be driving them wild. Canada has 3 Bitcoin ETFs. Switzerland alone, I think, also has an actual ETF. They also have multiple ETPs. These companies are actively accumulating these finite assets. It has to be, I just imagine, it has to be driving them insane, thinking that they're collecting all of it and I can't even collect one. Anyway, here's the actual press release right here on Preniswire? Preniswire. PR Newswire. I need to learn how to read. CoinShares launches Litecoin exchange traded product as it expands its product offering. Fantastic. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University. M. Stefan Dirks. Not Brain. I saw your message saying that it should be something that I know your name is, but I got the Not Brain. So I'm glad I said it correctly. Not Brain. Captain something in the Z Waylay. Crypto Black Sheep. AJ Cut 5. Speedy 655. And Carlos was like, my phone won't stop vibrating. Mo Barazzi, Jojo Shawshow, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grolay, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Barebones Mining, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Crypto Stahl, Paternoster, Conan Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolek Banan, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Steuer, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohar Maroni, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Damien, Setsuna, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangiela, Vodi, Anthony Charles, Jim Garner, Jemmy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller, Hishtess Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Mouse Corner Staff, Arfmedic 17, I thought I said bake me a cake twice. I don't know why. Are there 2 cakes? Only 1 cake. I don't know why I said bake me. Okay. Bake me a cake. Tigger Macho Nisa. On Crypto with Lionel. Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. I don't know why I thought there were 2 cakes. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who is a Patreon member. Thank you to all the new Patreon members. Thank you to everyone who left a thumbs up, who left a comment, who left a comment, who has subscribed. Thank you. And to everyone who's still listening to me ramble on, because you know I'm going to talk about Pancake because Pancake is on the screen. At the momento, Bitcoin is currently at $56,958 US. It is down by 0.52%. Look at these movements. Doesn't make any sense. Not a lot of sense in the market. Binance Coin is up by 3%. XRP is up by 4.7%. It is up to 96 cents. Just go over $1. Just do it already. See this movement? See this movement? See this movement? See this movement? All the same exact movements because of Bitcoin's magneto powers. Lumens is up by 1%. Filecoin is up by 3.8. Tron is up by 6. Solana is up by 14. I guess it's altcoin movement time because the altcoins seem to be gearing up to move back up. IOTA is up by 5%. FTX token is up by 3. Holochain is up by 2. Cake, you know, the one that all the Ukrainian parliament members own, is up by 20%. Fun, right? Chili's is up by 8.2%. Hedera Bar Hashgraph Bargraph is up by 1%. Engine Coin is up by 3.7%, and Elron Gold is up by 4%. Amazing. I do hope you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be on this planet. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, hearing, watching, and I will, wait, what? Thanks for watching, and I will, yes, I'll be most certainly talking to you all soon. What a weird day. Anyway, See you.